Hello, BookTube. I've got a little mail haul for you, just a few packages that arrived this morning, but there is a box. It's an oddly shaped box, too, so it may be a big picture book of some kind. But first, let's do with the normal ones first. Let's see what we have here. What is this? What is this? This is from Restless Book. Okay, this is a 2020 book called My Part of Her by Javad Javeri. My Part of Her. My Part of Her. It's truly a pleasure to send you My Part of Her, the English language debut. Oh, wow. The English language debut by Iranian author Javad Davari. Forced to leave Iran at the age of 20 because of political reasons, the author draws on his personal experience as an adolescent living through the Iranian Revolution in this coming-of-age novel. When the last monarch of Iran was officially overthrown in 1979, after a series of revolts and protests, a conservative religious government came into power, drastically and radically altering the political and cultural landscape of the country. That's putting it mildly. Yes, indeed. The country became a theocracy. Showed the world exactly what a theocracy looks like when it takes power. My Part of Her is a confession of sins and of loves, of betrayals that, outside the context of impending revolution, are a typical part of growing up. Yet for our unnamed narrator, the choices he makes during one summer in the late 1970s have far-reaching and unexpected consequences, as friends, families, and colleagues find themselves on opposite sides of ideological divides a few short years later. So the impending revolution is going to add, he's going to underscore everything in here. That's a kind of a neat cover. Let's see here. Nilofar, the enigmatic and beautiful swimmer, attracts the romantic interest of everyone around her in the seaside town of Chamkala. As one fateful summer draws to an end, her cousin's selfish machinations lead to the dramatic expulsion of one suitor from her group of family and friends. None of them could have predicted how this adolescent betrayal will alter the course of their lives and affect their responses to the coming shifts of power. Oh my, I wonder if the rejected suitor becomes a powerful person in the new government and therefore has the ability to exact revenge. Wow, okay. Well, great. So this is translated by Emma Ramadan, and it's the English language debut of an exiled Iranian author. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. So Restless Books continues to please. They continue to please with how inventive they are. Okay, so this comes out in February and takes place mostly on the beautiful Caspian Sea. So interesting. All right, great way to start. Let's move on here. Let's go to this next one. Let's see. It's not forecast to be quite so hot today as it was yesterday. I still think it's for the best that the Bean not take any long walks. She's not going to like that at all. Oh, great. All right, fantastic. I requested this. This is also 2020. Yeah, February is going to be a big month. This is by Rudiger Barth and Hauke Friedrichs, and it's called The Last Winter of the Weimar Republic, The Rise of the Third Reich. And this is a new history book in the new year. With the German economy in ruins and street battles raging between rival political parties, the Weimar Republic was on its last legs. In the halls of the Reichstag, party leaders scramble for power and influence as the elderly president, Paul von Hindenburg, presides over a democracy pushed to the breaking point. Chancellors Franz von Papen and Kurt von Schleicher spin a web of intrigue, vainly hoping to harness the growing popularity of Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party while reining in its most extreme elements. These politicians struggle for control of a turbulent city where backroom deals and frightening public rallies alike threaten the country's fragile democracy, with terrifying consequences for Germany and the rest of the world. Okay, well, in the last 2 years, I've had quite a few studies of Weimar Germany, some of them Trump books. Very sobering thing to read history anew, to read German history now as an American. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping that it gets lots and lots of attention. I'm hoping that it gets lots of attention everywhere. I'm hoping that I'm part of that attention. Let's see what this next one is. It's a fruitful subject to write about anyway, even if you don't happen to be worried about it happening here, as it were. Oh my, okay, we're doing fine here. Good Lord, this is going to be February. No, this is all right. This is early January. This is another 2020 history book. Fantastic. Okay, this is Chasing the Rubicon, Caesar's Decision and the Fate of Rome. This is by Luca Fezzi, so I'm assuming that it's translated. Is this translated? Yes, it's translated by Richard Dixon. And this is Crossing the Rubicon. Let's see if we can get through the entire pub sheet without infuriating Steve, shall we? When the Senate ordered Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, to disband his troops, he instead marched his soldiers across the Rubicon River in violation of Roman law. The Senate turned to its proconsul, Pompey the Great, for help. But Pompey's response was unexpected. He commanded magistrates and senators to abandon Rome, a city that, until then, had always been defended. The consequences were the ultimate crisis of the Roman Republic and the rise of Caesar's autocracy. In this new history, Luca Fezzi argues that Pompey's actions sealed the Republic's fate. Drawing on a wide range of primary sources, including Cicero's extensive letters, the author shows how Pompey's decision shocked the Roman people, severely weakened the city, and set in motion a chain of events that allowed Caesar to take power. Seamlessly translated by Richard Dixon, this book casts fresh light on dramatic events at this crucial moment in Roman history. All right, we got through the whole thing without upsetting Steve at all. And the author is a professor of Roman history at the University of Padua and has written many books in Italian, including something called The Corrupt, an inquiry by Marcus Tullius Cicero, which I don't think is in English. I don't think I've read it. And this has advanced praise from everybody, just everybody, including Daisy Dunn, who wrote a book called In the Shadow of Vesuvius about Pliny the Elder and Pliny the Younger that I have not received yet. But anyway, this comes out in early January. Roman history in early January. Is there any chance? We've got the Weimar Republic. We've got Roman Germany. Roman history. We have a couple of big books on the Renaissance. Is there any chance? It's still too early to tell. It's still too early to call fads for 2020. Although I was spot on for one of the fads for 2019, which was the spate of high-profile, big publisher historical fiction. Is there any chance that 2020 will be a bonanza for history? Oh, wouldn't that be great? We shall see. It would be a while yet. I'm not going to call anything yet. And then we have this last thing. It's a big, thinner or thinnish box. So obviously not the finished copy of a normal kind of hardcover. So it could be a picture book of some kind. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. This comes out in a week. This is an early October book. And this is by Roger Lederer. And it is called The Art of the Bird, the history of ornithological art through 40 artists. The Art of the Bird. Incredible. Okay, so this has 200 color plates. And the pub sheet gets right down to the basics. Have you ever dreamed of flying? Of sprouting feathers and lifting into the air? You are not alone. Indeed, you find yourself in long-standing and distinguished artistic company. Our avian enthrallment is age-old, with human depictions of birds dating back as many as 40,000 years ago, when Paleolithic artists took to cave walls to capture winged and other beasts. But the art form has reached its peak in the last 400 years. Totally agree. In Art of the Bird, devout birder and ornithologist Roger Lederer celebrates this heyday of avian illustration. Oh man! So this will go all the way from Audubon. I mean, it'll be all of the predecessors to Audubon, and then it will continue into the present day. Some of these authors I know really well. I have books on them. Oh, fantastic! Okay, all right, okay. Steve is pleased. So, a small mail haul, but not a bad one at all. So first we have this gorgeous thing, The Art of the Bird. That is number one on the Steve pile. I will slice it open and look through it. Then Crossing the Rubicon, a 2020 history of Caesar's decision to commit high treason. Then The Last Winter of the Weimar Republic, 2020 history of Paul von Hindenburg's decision to commit high treason. And then My Part of Her, very intriguing. An English language debut of an exiled Iranian author. Wonderful. So there you go. That is the mail for now. I don't know what more mail is coming, if any. But if any arrives, especially if there's just one single book on the porch, then I won't bother you. But if there's a basket full, then you'll be the first to know, because I'll fire up the camera again. And either way, we have plenty more to talk about. So I will see you soon. Thank you, too.